Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Saturday, May 1st, at 3:25 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 675 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. I want to choose flight. Families look to leave states banning healthcare for trans kids. India is the first country to record 400,000 coronavirus cases in a single day. Mixed breed dog that fatally mauled girl in Fort Worth has been euthanized, city says. An Alaska woman says the FBI barged into her home searching for Nancy Pelosi's laptop. Zulia Bing, the abandoned baby who became a Vogue model. Andrew Yang's nonprofit used metric that disadvantaged applicants from historically black colleges, records show. Idaho cop whose TikTok mocked LeBron James over his Mackie Bryant comments has raised $300,000. North Carolina governor pardons man wrongfully convicted of murder. Cali influencer charged for wild claim that Latino couple tried to kidnap her kids. U.S. launches airstrike in response to failed Taliban rocket attack on day formal withdrawal begins. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. NASA SpaceX Crew 1 astronauts depart International Space Station, NASA. Churchill Downs Stakes 2021, full race, NBC Sports, NBC Sports. Actress Esme Bianco sues Marilyn Manson months after she accused him of sexual assault, CNN. NFL broadcaster characterizes Aaron Rodgers as disappointed word of rift with Packers came out, Fox News. Noel Clarke has more problems, as report to police by third party made after allegations surface, report, Deadline. Colorado woman killed in rare bear attack, NBC News. Warren Buffett on share buybacks, Yahoo Finance. Prosecutors seek tougher sentence for Derek Chauvin in George Floyd's death, NBC News. Schefter, people in league circles believe Deshaun Watson won't play in 2021, Bleacher Report. 2021 NFL Draft Grades, analysis for every fifth-round selection from the Jaguars to Ravens, CBS Sports. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. MRS, Doubtfire star Lisa Yakub expertly answers what happened to her question. Princess Charlotte celebrates turning 6 with adorable birthday portrait. Olympia Dukakis, Oscar-winning Moonstruck star, dies at 89. Gates probe expands from sex trafficking to cannabis and corruption. Missouri latest state to thwart voter-approved policies. Grammy organizers end controversial secret committees for nominations. In new book, Elizabeth Warren calls Mike Bloomberg's presidential run completely wrong. Josh Duggar's sister Ginger disturbed to hear of child porn charges. Justin Timberlake's haters celebrate May 1st with alternative memes. India launches huge COVID-19 inoculation effort amid virus surge. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Culture struggle over equity and race rages. About 400 students without ride to school. Missing autistic child found in pool. Proposed bill would ban gender diversity training. Bus driver rescues toddler sitting alone in field. 81-year-old patient killed in ambulance crash. Catholic school teacher fired, charged. Woman on ventilator undergoes C-section birth. Family fights to change law to benefit people W Down syndrome. Deteriorating church causes road closure. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. How to watch SpaceX splashdown with 4 astronauts. Kentucky Derby updates, fans are back, but attendance is limited. India's crisis shakes Modi's image of strength. Olympia Dukakis, Oscar winner for Moonstruck, dies at 89. Who will win the Kentucky Derby? Expert picks and predictions. Elizabeth Warren grapples with presidential loss in new book. Afghan blast on eve of U.S. pullout deadline kills at least 27. Every time I'm calling, someone has died, the anguish of India's diaspora. Andrew Yang promised to create 100,000 jobs, he ended up with 150. Representative Mike Neerman of Oregon, who led in protesters, is charged. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Corbin ends 10-game skid, pitches Nationals past Marlins 7-2. Ionescu excited to return to court after 8 months away. Secret Service agent dies training at Bush compound in Maine. Some believe Texans' Deshaun Watson may not play in 2021, NFL insider says. Illegal migrant struck by Border Patrol vehicle near Texas border dies. MSNBC's Tiffany Cross blasts Tim Scott as token and clown. Taliban issues attack warning as May 1st deadline for U.S. troop removal passes. Who is Jets QB Zach Wilson's mom? Meet Instagram star Lisa Wilson. Jets Zach Wilson wants to keep mom out of the spotlight after trending on social media. NFL broadcaster characterizes Aaron Rodgers as disappointed. Word of rift with Packers came out. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Saturday, May 1st. The next headlines are from the seventh most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Child tax credit, how much money will parents receive each month? Bar rescue host John Taffer, summer going to be boomtown for bars and restaurants, despite 38% decline. Stimulus check latest, is a fourth relief payment on the way? The next headlines are from the eighth most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Hasn't one grown? Feisty Princess Charlotte wears a pretty floral print dress as she turns 6. Line of Duty's Martin Compston hints a major character from Series 2 could return for Sunday's final. Boris Johnson promises ruthless crackdown on scourge of gangs stealing our dogs. Peter Hitchens, actually, I'd be quite happy to pay Boris Johnson's wallpaper bill. Ex-Eddie head boss swapped passport and tried to avoid 10 days in UK quarantine. Britain's families will get the go-ahead for summer holidays in popular European hotspots. Daughter of murdered PCSO Julia James, 53, shares poignant photo of her mother. Alexa Ndra Shulman, her indoors made me do it, what a tired old male excuse. Britain's washout bank holiday will see temperatures plunge to 10°C and showers sweep the country. Sir Keir Starmer faces hard left coup if he fails to revive Labour's fortunes. The following headlines are from the ninth most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Biden has had his dog days, now he'll join the club of cat people world leaders. Taliban warns of counterattacks as original May 1st deadline for U.S. troop withdrawal passes. A French mayor was convicted of rape, he's running his town from prison. Olympic officials are determined to have a Tokyo Games despite Japan's growing doubts. Harris-led campaign to stem migration from Central America faces deep challenges. As Israel buries the dead, questions grow over responsibility for deadly stampede. India sets pandemic record with more than 400,000 new cases, Fauci says crisis is like a war. Vaccinated faithful throng Jerusalem Church for Holy Fire. 10 boys and teens among the dead in Israel festival stampede. Pope prays for pandemic's end and for a horizon of hope. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. European roundup, Atletico survive late Elche scare, Real keep up chase. Coronavirus live news, surge testing to begin in East London after South African and Brazilian variants detected, WHO approves Moderna vaccine for emergency use. Oscar-winning actor Olympia Dukakis, star of Moonstruck, dies aged 89. Colorado woman killed in rare black bear attack, authorities say. Anwar El Ghazi's strike lifts Aston Villa and dents Everton's European hopes. The story of the paradise parrot, the only mainland Australian bird marked extinct. Thousands mark May Day with rallies in France, Spain and Germany. Mexico expects U.S. to send 5M more COVID vaccine doses, president says. Saints tap Notre Dame QB as potential Brees successor on NFL draft's final day. May Day Morris dancer swap black face paint for blue over concerns of racism. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Olympia Dukakis, Oscar-winning Moonstruck star, dies at 89. State lawmaker faces charges for allegedly allowing protesters into Oregon Capitol. Sheriff, Boone shooter attacked father days earlier. Miami money manager gets 4 years in Venezuela bribery case. Polls high-stakes bet, more jobs but only mild inflation. Colorado woman killed in suspected bear attack, wildlife officials say. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. U.S. and NATO start to formally withdraw troops from Afghanistan. Olympia Dukakis, Moonstruck and Steel Magnolia star dies aged 89. May Day protests, Turkey arrests hundreds as rallies sweep globe. U.S. man detained after private jet lands in Sicily with guns and drugs. Diego Maradona care deficient and reckless, medical report says. India coronavirus, over 18's vaccination drive hit by shortages. Nigeria gang leader behind school kidnapping shot by rivals. Israel crush, Israel mourns as festival crush victims identified. Mali, the world's most dangerous peacekeeping mission. Grammy Awards scrap controversial voting committees. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Clashes in Berlin during May Day march. Meet Long Boy, a big, but not the biggest, duck that's become a superstar at the University of York. More than 90 people found in Texas home in what police called a human smuggling operation. Hundreds rally in D.C. for immigration reform. California fairgrounds ready for migrant children. Hospital fire kills 18 virus patients in India. Few options for Indians as U.S. restrictions loom. The day in pictures. One of spring's top skygazing events is coming next week, the Eta Aquarid meteor shower. Federal judge includes history lesson on police brutality in ruling saying Ohio cops ran amok during protests. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Turmoil shakes California National Guard with firing, suspension of top generals. Police break up fight outside fundraiser for Orange County DA in Costa Mesa. Op-ed, Eli Broad, leader for a city that doesn't want to be led. Column, homeless and addicted, they hit bottom, now they're on the verge of breaking free. A guilty verdict in the Derek Chauvin trial, fans return to Dodger Stadium, and Jordan's water crisis 31 photos from April 2021. Column: Johnson & Johnson eroded trust in all COVID-19 vaccines. Can it be rebuilt? California's secret weapon in COVID-19 success? We are not skeptical about the vaccine. Silent film gold was made in this humble Hollywood alley, but how would you know? There's no sign. How 3 political novices with turbulent pasts helped spark the Newsom recall. Most states have a system for ousting bad cops. In California, legislation is struggling. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Saturday, May 1st, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Police officer dismissed for hitting vulnerable girl more than 30 times with baton. UK News. 80% of Japanese support Iranian empress's pool of heirs shrinks. Modi could have prevented India's devastating COVID-19 crisis, critics say. He didn't. U.S. calls for Taiwan to be allowed at World Health Assembly. Taiwan's Foreign Minister Joseph Wu calls Chinese expansionism threat to democracy, urges world's democracies to stand united and stronger with Taiwan against China. Climate crisis, our children face wars over food and water, EU deputy warns. COVID crisis, Australians trying to return home from India face up to $66,000 fine or 5 years jail. Scientists say India government ignored warnings amid coronavirus surge. Russia records more than 400,000 excess deaths during pandemic. Significant magnitude 6.7 earthquake 45 kilometers southeast of Ishinomaki, Japan. Volcano discovery. COVID, Australians could face jail or fined if they return from India. Guantanamo detainee takes on Central Intelligence Agency black sites in UN human rights case. India's Election Commission should face murder charges over COVID-19 spike, Madras High Court says. India's new registered COVID-19 cases cross 400k per day. Palestinian president decides, on his own, to postpone elections. The next headlines are from Forbes. Amazon ramps up its logistics integration, threatening to reshape the future of the industry. Kentucky Derby 2021, Saturday odds, bets you should make, and Roger World chance to take down essential quality. San Francisco 49ers draft, day 2 defined by adding bullies to the mix, trades. This culture is one of a kind, inside the LA Clippers' new path to success. Pitching, defense help Brewers overcome offensive slumps and injuries to finish April in first place. The Green Bay Packers hit a home run on night 2 of the NFL Draft. 2021 Kentucky Derby, updated odds for the field. How the Indiana Pacers should navigate a potential contract extension for Doug McDermott. Jay Bruce's retirement and the endangered nature of the 30-something power hitter. Amari Rodgers could help lift the Green Bay Packers offense to new heights. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Head injury risk higher for female soccer players, massive survey finds. COVID research updates, one vaccine dose can nearly halve transmission risk. A continuous model of early mammalian development. Job losses and falling salaries batter U.S. academia. Indian government should heed its scientists on COVID. Coronapod, the inequality at the heart of the pandemic. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,702,315,834 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Who We Were director Mark Botter preps doc about flamenco dancer turned Nazi killer exclusive. Antonia Killian CPH, doc screener The Other Side of the River explores female emancipation in Syria's Rojava region. Artificial Eye Mortality Review, surveying new technologies to cheat death. Alessandro Rossellini on navigating therapy with his famous family in the Rossellini exclusive. The Rossellini Review, an outsider's inside view of a dysfunctional celebrity dynasty. Children of the Enemy Review, fighting for the children of ISIS fighters. The line from Endgame that created the backbone for Sam in The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Eli Broad, billionaire philanthropist, dies at 87. The Last Shelter Review, scenes from a stop on a migrant route across Africa. Malcolm Campbell, veteran spin, fader, Blender publishing executive, dies at 61. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Biden wants to go tough on Wall Street. The response, the best rally since FDR. Hospital fire kills 18 virus patients as India steps up jabs. Creepy robot dog loses job with New York Police Department. Pasquotank County Sheriff, public should see Andrew Brown Jr. video. Need a COVID-19 vaccine, Biden admin launches GETVAX text line and other search tools. Flush with cash, Americans are buying everything from iPhones to Teslas. Protesters march in Colombia against plan to raise taxes and pandemic-wrecked economy. Coronavirus frequently asked questions, is it a big deal if I skip or delay second dose of my COVID vaccine? White House says it is open to diplomacy with North Korea. The UN takes aim at a silent epidemic, drowning. The following headlines are from The Week. Victoria Beckham expresses deep relief over not being forced to wear Justin Bieber's gifted Crocs. Destiny's Child watched Kelly Rowland give birth over Zoom. The Daily Gossip, police arrest the woman who returned Lady Gaga's stolen dogs, Victoria Beckham hates the present Justin Bieber gave her, and more. The week's best photojournalism. The Week contest, gnome shortage. Marilyn Manson sued by Game of Thrones SM Bianco for alleged sexual assault and human trafficking. 19 kids and counting's Josh Duggar hit with child pornography charges. The 2021 Kentucky Derby horse names, ranked. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis denies systemic racism exists. Critics say the state's new voting law is a clear example. Matt Gaetz' associate reportedly guilted underage girl after they paid her for sex. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. The Leggy this week, the capital's long-standing toxiculture. The next headlines are from Physics Buzz News. Paint by numbers, try paint by lasers. The next headlines are from Universe Today. How salty is Enceladus Ocean under the ice? China launches the core module of its new space station. 11 Sigma detection of dark energy comes from measuring over 1 million extremely distant galaxies. These are the news headlines for today, Saturday, May 1st. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. SpaceX Starship SN-15 first test flight scrubbed for Friday. May 2021 Guide to the Bright Planets. How jellyfish swim. All you need to know, Eta Aquarii meteors. Going up and coming down this week. Space rock found on Earth traced back to origins on Vesta. The next news is from Politico. How Washington changed in Biden's first 100 days. Vestager versus Cook, new Apple charges reignite old standoff. Clyburn echoes Scott's comments on race, but hits back at GOP voting laws push. Hillary Clinton talks Afghanistan, Russia and Giuliani. Opinion: the sweet smell of government overreach. Biden's Wall Street cop feels progressives eat after hiring blunder. Capitol Police official who said to watch for anti-Trump forces on January 6 was Deputy Chief. Conor Lamb moves toward Pennsylvania Senate run. Stringer's support crumbles as assault allegations scramble New York mayor's race. Manchin says he does not support D.C. statehood bill. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. AFL 2021 Live updates. Cats take control against Swans, Lions claws all over power. 2/3 of kids targeted by Queensland crime crackdown are Indigenous. Children caught in turbocharged tough on crime politics. Nathan Jones omitted after milestone 300th but could still be sub. Bulldogs struggle to stay in touch with Eels despite conference call. The peculiar experience of being targeted by Scientology. Affordable, approachable, aspirational, inner-city pubs to compete with boutique hotels. Saints regain touch to crush Hawks. Reynolds set to miss up to 6 weeks after tearing ligaments in his thumb. Woman dies after bus and car collide in Parramatta. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Personal Finance Daily. Biden wants to reform America's broken unemployment system. Here's how it may look, and Disneyland finally reopens, but it's now make or break for the industry. Virgin Galactic, DraftKings to amend financials post SEC guidance for SPACs. The tell, U.S. stocks have risen to all-time highs this year. Should you sell in May and go away? Deep dive. These 20 stocks performed the best over the first 100 days of Biden's presidency. Newswatch. Big Technician's $1 trillion pandemic year may be just the beginning. Deep dive. Have you held any of these 20 stocks long-term? Your current dividend yield might surprise you. Top 10. Weekend reads. Moving to the mountains, on $18,000 a year. MarketWatch Premium. If you think inflation poses a long-term threat, you might want to make these portfolio moves now. Market Snapshot. Dow closes lower after hectic week of earnings, but posts gains for 3 straight months. Business in the age of COVID-19. Big Technician's $1 trillion pandemic year may be just the beginning. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. University of Florida professor and alumna inducted into FL Inventor Hall of Fame, WCJB. 9 inventions that were the next big thing, but totally flopped. Interesting engineering. URSB, commercializing intellectual property while creating employment, independent. 2nd Annual AI Legal Summit, Session II, IPWatchdog.com. Abolish intellectual property, Gizmodo. Pre-invention innovations not captured by employment agreement duty to assign, Patent Leo. Why Center not considering compulsory licensing for COVID drugs like remdesivir, tocilizumab, Supreme, Live Law, Indian Legal News. Nokia is the leader in 5G patents, declares another independent study, Nokia PowerUser. T Capital plc announces full fiscal year 2020 financial results for the year ended November 30, 2020, Globe Newswire. Newcomers to the lucrative streaming market are vulnerable to patent attack, IAM. The next headlines are from Quartz. How has the pandemic changed African workplaces? Weekend edition, How to Help India, Inspecting Base Camp, 22 Matrix. Amazon's streaming audience is almost as big as Netflix's. Google holds the keys to web privacy in Africa and Asia. AstraZeneca's COVID vaccine brought in $275 million in 2021 first quarter revenue. Biden's first 100 days had more executive orders than Trump, Obama, or Bush. How to help India during its catastrophic COVID-19 surge. The founder of Moderna doesn't think vaccines are all that impressive. The banana-eating artist from Art Basel says the NFT boom is a blessing. Amazon's big day, Indian vaccinations, Constantine's finger. The following headlines are from TechDirt. Anatomy of a bogus DMCA scam run by a plagiarizing website. Content moderation case study, Craigslist implements phone verification to fight spam, spammers fight back, 2008. Biden administration poised to give Comcast lobbyist Canadian ambassador spot. Canadian government wants to regulate social media like broadcast. Disney got itself a if you own a theme park, carve out from Florida's blatantly unconstitutional social media moderation bill. Daily Deal, the complete 2021 Microsoft, Windows, and Azure bundle. Boris Johnson's phone number leaks, turns out he uses end-to-end encryption, while trying to ban it for everyone else. Verizon's media failure is complete as company eyes AOL Yahoo sale. The Epic effect, Microsoft changes revenue split to match Epic Store, Steam holds firm. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Lakers. Disneyland. Kellenmond. Invincible. Tom Clancy without remorse. The Mitchells vs. the Machines. Travis Scott. Roberto Alomar. Marilyn Manson. Pokemon Snap. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Massive fire breaks out at oil refinery in Haifa, Israel, video. We see that version. Western media cannot handle Djokovic's success because Sir beats Nadal and Federer, says compatriot Troicki. Florida passes law to impose hefty fines on tech giants that deplatform politicians. U.S. says China should do more for intellectual property protection, as Beijing struggles to meet trade deal targets. You've already lost. Ngannou fires back at UFC rival Jones Barbs as Khabib manager claims American star is misunderstood. West turns a blind eye to march honoring World War II Nazi SS in Kiev. Ukraine may not be a fascist state, but it has a fascism problem. It's Mayday, baby, let's kill some cops. Trump supporter reportedly leaks audio recordings after infiltrating Antifa group. Gold losing its shine for India amid deepening COVID-19 crisis. Foreign adversary in U.S. skies, ex-Pentagon UFO investigator warns odd sightings could mark intel failure on level of 9/11. Most U.S. and U.K. businesses to require at least some employees to get vaccinated against COVID-19, poll shows. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Biden's anti-Eurasian green delusion and America's race to irrelevance. NYPD puts down robot dog after backlash. Blighted San Francisco diagnoses its perilous trifecta, and bungles the cure. Ammo and primer shortages continue into 2021. The American right is the new target of Washington's war on terror. U.S. intelligence tells Congress China's nuclear arsenal on track to exceed our previous projection. Majority of U.S. companies will require workers to provide proof of vaccination. The new economic world order after COVID-19. Farm robot zaps weeds with high-powered lasers, eliminates need for toxic herbicides. The need to regulate big tech, Part 2, Moral Hazards in Space. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. India government ignored COVID-19 warnings, report. How China came to dominate the South China Sea. Maradona received inadequate care, left to fate, medical report. What is happening in occupied East Jerusalem Sheikh Jarrah? Hospital fire kills 18 in India as 402,000 COVID cases announced. Myanmar's UN ambassador, military coup must fail. DRC declares state of siege and violence at eastern provinces. U.S. says no grand bargain as Biden changes approach to end Korea. WHO approves Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use. Unions in Chile lead demands for emergency aid as pandemic bites. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Robocall smears Texas Republican candidate Susan Wright, falsely alleges she killed her late husband. Pennsylvania Democrats deal another blow to Pelosi's House majority as Conor Lamb, Chrissy Houlihan consider Senate bid instead of re-election. Brazil accuses Russia of sending vaccines carrying live cold virus. GOP rep on American League Division Series, Tim Scott is a threat to the left because it's harder to push their agenda if people actually like the country. Fact check, Cher falsely claims GOP only allows white people to vote. Clyburn, America isn't a racist country, we need to weed out racist things done by some places. Rep Ro Khanna, Biden's speech explicit rejection of neoliberal framework, killing filibuster must follow. Hillary Clinton, difficult to negotiate with Republicans, they are in an alternative reality. Del Rio border sector chief, border situation will get worse before it gets better. Pfizer partner looking to mix Moderna vaccine with Chinese products. The next headlines are from UPI News. $300,000 winning lottery ticket nearly ended up in the trash. Look, police find reported COVID-19 violation was a mannequin. Watch, twins accepted to 15 colleges, earn $1.53 in scholarships. Watch, landfill workers search through trash to find woman's missing ring. Watch, dog rescued from narrow gap between San Francisco buildings. Watch, 110 mermaid divers put on underwater show for Guinness record. Watch, dangling osprey tangled in fishing line rescued from Pennsylvania bridge. Colombian farmers break Guinness record with 9.36-pound mango. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Adopt a gargoyle and help fund the rebuilding of Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. 72% of Brits feel more content as they finally stop worrying about what people think of them in their 40s. Believed to be solitary, male sperm whales actually hang with the boys in friendships that can last years. Spontaneous spirit of humanity takes center stage around the erupting Iceland volcano. Watch. Tiny mouse deer born at English Zoo is the height of a pencil, and adorable. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Saturday, May 1st. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Auckland transport to report pothole penis painter to police. Zimbabwean sculptor uses art to combat COVID. Belgium melts down over 22,000 firearms into recycled steel. A deadly California wildfire was set to cover up a woman's murder, authorities say. A Russian model trapped on a Chinese reality show was finally voted off after months of self-sabotage. He says he's happy to go home. UFOs likely in possession of Lockheed Martin, says ex-Sen, Harry Reid. Ninana Ice Classic, Alaska's favorite guessing game, ends with a twist. 7-year-old boy charged with rape in upstate New York, police say. Elderly couple uses military Morse code training to escape Tennessee assisted living facility. After masked bunnies, Belgian artisan ships 2 chocolate syringes. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. A scientist created emotion recognition AI for animals. BadSense algorithm could be used to monitor people and property without cameras. Tesla VP admits autopilot wasn't fully disengaged during recent fatal crash. Microsoft teases Word's next default font, so we got a designer to weigh in. Watch Jeff Bezos drive a Rivian R1T through the desert while wearing a cowboy hat. Enjoy Netflix, YouTube, and more with this portable 1080p smart projector. EU charges Apple with breaking antitrust laws and robbing you of cheaper music. Charge points app for locating F-juicing spots arrives on Android Auto. Facebook will help you to find nearest vaccine center in India. The Underdog bikes you should love, ugly no-frills town bikes. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Antarctic ice sheet melting to lift sea level higher than thought, Harvard study says. Poorer communities hardest hit by toxic pollution incidents. Computer scientists discover new vulnerability affecting computers globally. Neural nets used to rethink material design. Branching worm with dividing internal organs growing in sea sponge. Piecing together the Land-CL puzzle. Not just for finding planets, Exoplanet Hunter test telescope spots bright gamma ray burst. Wildfire smoke trends worsening for western U.S. Engineering T-cells to attack cancer broadly. New view of species interactions offers clues to preserve threatened ecosystems. The next headlines are from Information Week. YSMC leveraged Dell Technologies to go hybrid cloud. How data is transforming healthcare for patients, providers and payers. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Saturday, May 1st from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA's Ingenuity Mars helicopter to begin new demonstration phase. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Utah Jazz's frustrating night, lost to Suns, season sweep, falling to second place, not taking the game seriously. The triple team, did the Jazz go all out to win versus Phoenix? Arguments can be made for both sides. Alan K. Jones, police and citizens would benefit from fewer traffic stops. Former Bayou left tackle Brady Christensen picked up early in the third round of the 2021 NFL Draft. Utah Republicans will meet in person for their state convention. Here's what to expect. Jill Biden to visit Utah next week. More than 2,200 Utahns have died of COVID-19. Vivint reaches $20 settlement with FTC over allegations of fraudulent use of credit reports. Jana Reese, finally, single Latter-day Saints have new opportunities, greater respect. RSL executive says there is really positive momentum in ownership search. The next headlines are from Slashdot, tech news for nerds. Verizon is weighing a sale of Yahoo, AOL. Anti-vaxxer hijacks QR codes at COVID-19 check-in sites. New malware found lurking in 64-bit Linux installs. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. St. Charles police arrest man after alleged Molotov cocktail incidents. Jefferson County Sheriff launches new anti-crime campaign. Jason Tatum makes Boston Celtics history with 60-point night and win over Spurs. You paid for it. Reaction to State Board of Education's mandated changes to Normandy Governing Board. The role weather played in Thursday's chemical plant fire and emergency response. Vintage Market event returns to St. Louis region. St. Louis County Police Chief reflects on first year in position, talks about future plans. High-profile St. Louis doctor gives out shots to bring attention to the COVID-19 vaccination effort. Man charged in shooting death of Metro East teen, rising football player Jalen McKenzie. NBI 270 back open after 5-vehicle crash near I-64. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Pentagon cancels all border wall projects paid for with military funds. Husband of San Diego woman killed in Capitol siege. I watched my wife die. Motorcyclist, 53, badly hurt after crashing into car on rural road. Photos, 2 arrested as illegal East County pot shop shut down. Real-life river monster, 240-pound fish believed to be over 100 years old caught in Detroit River. Police tactics expert weighs in on fatal shooting of homeless man by Escondido officer. Hundreds of COVID-19 vaccination slots available at Balboa Municipal Gym. Cartel leader known as Mado Gordo pleads guilty to drug trafficking charges. Courtney Hall, captain of Chargers' lone Super Bowl team, dies at 52. U.S. keeps in place mask requirement on planes, transit. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. What it's like to be part of Gogglebox, from hidden camera crews to free food. Cliff Walker's review, Zhang Yimou comes back from the cold with a gorgeous but convoluted spy thriller. Apple AirTags anti-stalking features come with a big loophole. UK spy agency says dyslexic spooks spot patterns others miss and they want to recruit more. US intel agency sharply cuts surveillance during pandemic. Federal News Network. AirTags are a perfect distillation of Apple's strengths and weaknesses. Noah Centineo has made a shocking decision about Masters of the Universe. The crash of Flight 3804, A Lost Spy, A Daughter's Quest, and the Deadly Politics of the Great Game for Oil, book review. AirTag stalking protections may fail domestic abuse victims. 9 to 5 Mac. MI6 job ad for new tech chief Q has 2 commas added after error. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. General Dynamics Land Systems demonstrates new guided missile carrier. Kosovo gets first Bastion armored personnel carriers from AM General. Saab submitted final offer for Finnish HX fighter procurement. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. China offers to help India deal with catastrophic COVID-19 surge. Head of JLABS at Shanghai Sharon Chen on opportunities in China's healthcare sector and the drive to help entrepreneurs. Congratulations to this woman who finally divorces her abusive husband after 5 years of trying. China's antitrust probe, Tencent and Meituan are next. Did silver cause China's decline? Empire of Silver, reviewed. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Saturday, May 1st, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Advocates call for accountability after fatal police shooting in Daly City. Oakland residents prepare for early fire season. Oakland police prepare for May Day events. Turning 100, former San Rafael fire captain celebrates big birthday. Santa Clara Valley reservoirs fall to 16% full. Powerful quake hits off northern Japan, no tsunami risk. Alameda officials, youth discuss police reform after Mario Gonzalez death. 76K California violent, career felons get earlier releases. Kaiser laying off hundreds of healthcare workers across northern CA. Video, illegal sideshow, fireworks take place on Bay Bridge. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Bucks roll past Bulls 108-98 without injured and at Accountant. Longtime CLC leaders given send-off after combined 71 years on board. Batavia teacher named Kane County Educator of the Year. Need a bigger boat? People huddle in cars for just Twister at McHenry Outdoor Theater. Bears trade up, select big, physical OT Jenkins in round 2. Fans enjoy opening day at Arlington Park, with a little sadness. Live-streamed weddings in Cook County to start Monday. Illinois won't issue vaccination passports, Pritzker says. Giant dinosaur exhibit coming to parking lot at Six Flags. Arlington Heights to consider prohibiting Churchill Downs from barring gambling and track sale. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. 13 Washington made Mother's Day gifts to snag before the holiday. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 6.8 m, depth 47.3 km, in Japan January 5, 2021, 1:27 UTC, 2,450,000 people within 100 kilometers. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Iraq, Jordan, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Canada, United States. Drought is ongoing in China, India, Nepal. Drought is ongoing in Mozambique. Drought is ongoing in Mexico. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Congo, DRC. Drought is ongoing in Algeria, Libya, Tunisia. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Saturday, May 1st in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cypher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. Why the Istanbul Summit may be Afghanistan's last chance. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Next batch of rain moving in, flash flood warning issued, flash flood watch remains in effect. The Houston area high school football stars to look for in next rounds of NFL draft. Boil water notice issued for East Houston neighborhoods after waterline break. Australian couple stuck in Texas for over a year due to pandemic desperate to go home, I'm slowly dying. Grand jury will not indict undercover deputy who shot and killed house-sitting Missouri City man. HPD investigating possible human smuggling after 90 people found in southwest Houston. Here's when Hawaii plans to drop COVID-19 test requirement for vaccinated travelers. Biden administration to return billions in border wall funding Trump diverted from Pentagon. Houston rent relief, there's still $100 available, but applications are starting to die down. Price of lumber continues to skyrocket due in part to pandemic. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Diplomats from 5 nations resuming Iran nuclear talks. Vaccine campaign begins amid virus surge in rebel-held Syria. The latest, fire at India hospital kills 18 virus patients. NFL draft, Nixon, Hufanga, book among possible day 3 steals. Extreme weather kills 11, injures 102 in eastern China. 76,000 California inmates now eligible for earlier releases. Hungary reopens for people holding COVID-19 immunity cards. California Democrats to hear from Newsom's recall heats up. The captain challenges impoverished youth to love France. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Stringer loses progressive flank in fallout from sexual harassment allegations. Extra, did the pandemic snuff out the flu? Your complete guide to visiting Governor's Island 2021. Roiled by sexual assault allegations, Scott Stringer's mayoral campaign now hangs in the balance. Westchester publicly calls on Department of Justice to investigate the Mount Vernon Police Department. Harvey Weinstein could be extradited to California by May 30 to face more sex assault charges. NYC indoor dining to expand to 75% capacity starting May 7. So long, Indian Point nuclear plant, hello, more fossil fuels. City Council passes bill requiring more open streets in underserved neighborhoods. Early edition, no, you're choosy. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. COVID-19 vaccine equity in action in the Maldives, a UN resident coordinator blog. Online violence, weaponization of deeply rooted misogyny, sexism and abuse of power. Decades of health gains at risk in Brazil due to COVID-19. Chad, UN Rights Office profoundly disturbed over violence against protesters. Middle East coordinator calls for new and timely Palestinian election date. Europe, COVID must spark rethink to prioritize human lives over economic policies. Address inequalities to end AIDS by 2030, UN chief says in new report. Human Rights Watch, a threshold crossed. Internet restrictions harm the press and public alike. The day UN buried its report focusing on apartheid in Israel. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Federal agents raid Rudy Giuliani's NYC apartment in Ukraine probe. Dogecoin is the perfect currency for the United States of America in 2021. We need to talk about that CNN director admitting that his network is propaganda, video. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. T-Pain posts video showing him shutting down racist gamers. 3 officers resign in rough arrest of woman with dementia. Are these frogs with eyes inside their mouths real? Was Andrew Brown Jr. a known drug dealer before NC deputies killed him? Was the Pentagon built with extra bathrooms due to segregation? Newsmax apologizes to Dominion worker for false allegations. The bystander effect is real, but differently among larger groups. Did Alabama police pose and smile with homeless quailed? Actor Ezem Bianco sues Marilyn Manson, alleging sexual abuse. 240-pound fish, age 100, caught in Detroit River. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Bogus claims follow donation of Kamala Harris children's book. Video from Biden's address to Congress misleadingly edited. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. My home has never smelled better thanks to Japanese incense. Here's how to save America from the GOP's extinction agenda. The Giuliani's two-man clown car is crashing and burning. Sugar babies on guys like Gates, they don't think they're paying for sex. Family reunion travel is great, but it's still your family. Tom Jones wants you to get vaccinated and wear a rubber. Masks are coming off, and lipstick is back. Republicans tout a restaurant fund they voted against. This Tennessee city could be your next remote work destination. Rose Byrne deserved an Oscar for Bridesmaids. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Maryland firefighters accused of intentionally setting fires to put them out. Florida teen accused of fatally shooting man at Starbucks drive-thru. Death certificate shows Bernie Madoff died of kidney disease, hypertension. India begins widespread COVID-19 vaccination to all adults. U.S. government seeks volunteers to shoot bison at Grand Canyon. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Ask Astro, what is the life cycle of a red dwarf star? Future satellites could breathe air to stay spaceborne. The sky this week, catch the Eta Aquarii meteor shower. Easy moon observing. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Mars helicopter chalks up fourth successful flight. Underground tank leaking radioactive chemical waste. Jeff Bezos selling tickets to space aboard his New Shepard. Astronauts describe pure acceleration of SpaceX launch. Black women are at higher risk for miscarriage, study finds. Scientists trace origins of 23-million-year-old asteroid that hit Earth. Tons of dead fish choke banks of highly polluted lake in Lebanon. Astronauts describe thrilling launch and start of their space station mission. New York City makes plans to fully reopen as coronavirus vaccinations fall. Brazil surpasses 400,000 coronavirus deaths. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Eli Broad, billionaire entrepreneur who reshaped Los Angeles, dies at 87. NC man who spent 22 years in prison on wrongful conviction pardoned, 5 years after he was freed. Army finally admits Vanessa Gill was sexually harassed in new report, several more officers disciplined. Queen Elizabeth rewards sex toy company for outstanding growth. Mask requirement on planes, trains and buses extended into September. Suspects sought in Upper East Side shooting that killed Brooklyn man, 20, in drug deal gone bad. Cops laughing over violent dementia arrest no longer employed in Loveland, Colo. I heard the boom, witness to delivery man's death recounts horrific moments after SUV crash into Queens out-the-door dining structure. High-profile endorsements for NYC mayoral candidate Scott Stringer evaporate amid sex abuse allegations. Finance companies fined for leasing dogs to pet owners in Massachusetts. The following headlines are from military.com. The Air Force's brand new F-15X fighter is about to appear in its first major exercise. Pentagon cancels border wall projects, will recover funding diverted by Trump. Army disciplines 13 leaders, confirms murdered soldier Vanessa Guillen was sexually harassed. U.S. pushes ahead with nuclear plans despite watchdog concerns. Afghanistan withdrawal won't be like fall of Saigon, Deputy SecDef says. New video teases Sig Sauer prototypes for Army's next-gen weapons effort. Remains of Alabama soldier missing since 1950 identified. Bill helps veterans' families access benefit after coronavirus deaths. Biden on making COVID vaccine mandatory for troops, I'm going to leave it to the military. As tank battalions shut down, dozens of Marines are joining the Army. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. High school proms are back, sort of. Some will have no dancing, no eating, no heels, and entrance might require a negative COVID-19 test. Chicago's Latino community divided by police killing of Adam Toledo, as many push for police accountability, some fear gang violence and want more policing. Arlington International begins what likely is its last season amid regrets and anger over planned closing of iconic horse track, future of site unclear. Former Joliet Catholic teacher fired for inappropriate contact, charged and sought after citizen poses as 15-year-old in Snapchat expose. Arlington International opens for expected final season. 2 found dead in East Chatham, police launch homicide investigation. In the past 10 years, millions more ash trees have died, and the invasive buckthorn now makes up 36% of the Chicago region's trees, census shows. LaGrange Park police arrest 2 South suburban men after reports of shots fired in cemetery. Coronavirus in Illinois updates, daily vaccinations in state continue to drop, 3,207 new cases and 33 deaths reported Friday. Following blistering report on deadly COVID-19 outbreak at LaSalle home, Pritzker says he fell short in hiring a former VA director. The following headlines are from FIS.org. 6.8 magnitude quake rattles northeast Japan, no tsunami risk. 3 ways to improve scholarly writing to get more citations. Mars helicopter makes 4th flight, gets extra month of flying. SpaceX making first U.S. crew splashdown in dark since Apollo 8. New strategy puts evolution of microscopic structures on fast track. Tool to predict recidivism in federal inmates could make more prisoners eligible for early release. Antarctic ice sheet melting to lift sea level higher than thought, study says. Newly discovered Miocene biome sheds light on rainforest evolution. Climate change, Amazon may be turning from friend to foe. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Saturday, May 1st, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Turkey adds cryptocurrency exchanges to terror funding rules. A grudge match in Japan, one corner, two 7-Elevens. China's Lin Xiao has one-stroke 54-hole lead at LPGA Singapore. The captain challenges impoverished youth to love France. Cyclones go back to basics in spring to build on 20 success. Workers protest Indonesia's labor law in May Day rallies. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Horoscopes May 1st, 2021, Tim McGraw, set high standards. Bridge, May 1st, 2021. Word Game, May 1st, 2021. Ask Amy, why do these women demean older men with their unwelcome endearments? Harriet Cole, my boyfriend values his unattractive beard over me. Miss Manners, these two women have sent our enviable friend group off the rails. Dear Abby, he won't let me drive the car or even walk anywhere by myself. Eli Broad, who helped reshape Los Angeles, dies at 87. What the Avalanche Sharks said about McKinnon's fight with Labanc. SF Giants squander chance after chance and lost to Padres. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Yemen officials, heavy flooding from seasonal rains kills 13. Greenhouse gardening, getting a head start on growing season. Business is reconsidering 24-hour store hours. Filmmaking is thriving in Lancaster County. Shelters struggle to vaccinate Pittsburgh's homeless. Police faces see recruitment struggles, surge in retirements. The next headlines are from The Intercept. An ICE informant, Me 13, and the long campaign to deport Walter Cruz Zavala. Oracle executive's contentious interview with a reporter he saw the dirt on. Italy's anti-mafia directorate and the dirty campaign to criminalize migration. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Saturday, May 1st, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Study, nurses' physical, mental health connected to preventable medical errors. A glimmer of hope, new weapon in the fight against liver diseases. Awake brings proton bunches into sync. World's first fiber optic ultrasonic imaging probe for future nanoscale disease diagnostics. Antiviral T cells safe and effective for treating debilitating complication common after stem cell transplants. New study identifies diverse spectrum of neurons that govern movement. Factors associated with general surgery residents' operative experience during pandemic. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. There's Justin Fields, I expect myself to be a franchise QB. Man fatally stabbed in Little Village, police. Police seek SUV that hit, seriously injured pedestrian in Chatham. Horoscope for Saturday, May 1st, 2021. Bulls guard Zach LaVine is out of quarantine and makes courtside visit. White Sox end encouraging April with 5-3 loss to Cleveland. Palace Intrigue episode 161, Ryan Pace traded up again. Catcher Wilson Contreras leaves game with mild right thigh tightness. 2 robberies reported in Humboldt Park. Little Village activists protest at police training center, FOP headquarters. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Saturday, May 1st, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival makes its return this fall. NFL Draft, Day 1, 4 winners, 4 losers. Openings and closings, Rack and Ramen opens this week, Lee Jardinier debuts in May. A third of the way into 2021 and Houston highways are setting new records for crazy. Former HPD Chief Acevedo says Sheriff Gonzalez would be a great for thankless job of ICE director. Reviews for the uneasily quarantined, without remorse. Troubadour Bob Bradshaw leaves a light on in new record. Houston's 5 best weekend food bets, Spring Wine Fest and all things Derby. The next headlines are about world records making news. World record, flying around the world on a gyroplane, see BBC News Round, BBC News. 4-year-old cotter resident sets world record, the Peninsula Cotter. Pulling together for world record row news, Tinmouth Post. Turf world record holders and Arctic project gets a local boost, Grampian Online. Outdoors, world record fish caught in South Missouri, Chillicothe Constitution Tribune. Preston child genius becomes youngest Brit to scoop 5 Guinness World Records, Langs Live. World record, India logs over 400,000 COVID-19 cases in 24 hours, CBN News. India reports new world record of over 400,000 daily COVID-19 cases, CGTN. Paddling protesters attempt world record, Yahoo News Australia. Lionel Messi's football boots sell for world record in auction, Euro Weekly News. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Weapons, ivory, and other items banned by Etsy still widely available on Marketplace, investigation finds. Netflix's Shadow and Bone adaptation is really good, according to Netflix. Marvel's Secret Invasion continues to build its cast. Hulu finally gets Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, and more new channels. Captain America flies high, and more patriotic toys of the week. How to get started with Apple Fitness Plus. Australia wants to teach basic cybersecurity to 5-year-olds. Texas House overwhelmingly passes 2 major marijuana reforms. 1/3 of base camp employees have reportedly quit following the new policy on speech. Anxiety is the real cause of fainting that was linked to COVID-19 vaccines, CDC experts say. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Nalgaon in India at 113 degrees Fahrenheit or 45 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Vostok in Antarctica at minus 97.96 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 72.2 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Disney gets special theme park exception to Florida's anti-tech bill. More U.S. agencies potentially hacked, this time with Pulse Secure exploits. Mysterious health attacks like those seen in Cuba have come to D.C. The NYPD retires Digidog robot after public backlash. New York requires $15 broadband for poor people, promptly gets sued by internet service providers. Porsche rumor to be entering F1 with Red Bull Racing. Climate law jeopardizes freedoms, German court rules, but not how you think. Roku vs. Google, Part 2, YouTube TV app pulled from Roku Store. Humble Bundle creator brings antitrust lawsuit against Valve over Steam. New iPad Pro, Apple TV 4K, and 24-inch iMac now available for order. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Artificial intelligence research may have just hit a dead end, here's why. Psychiatrist says Trump's glaring psychological problems were misinterpreted and led us to disaster. Trump-targeted Fox News anchor quietly disappears from the network. Josh Duggar to remain in jail after being indicted on federal charges. Mama Grizzlies, prominent women in the white power movement have long played protectors. Arizona GOP kicks out reporter after he tweeted pic of Trump insurrectionist at audit. Chris Christie isn't afraid to take on Trump in the 2024 GOP primary. Newsmax blasted after apologizing for broadcasting Trump's voter fraud lies. Busted, Republican lawmaker charged for helping far-right activists breach Capitol in Oregon. Kansas Republican arrested for attack on student after rant about God talking to him, report. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. I thought my family in India was safe. Now, I'm terrified. A Trump-era rule is still turning away migrants at the border. El Paso activists are marching to demand Biden end it. I asked Obama's refugee chief, the U.S. really can't handle both unaccompanied kids and more refugees. From our archives, Conspiracy Watch. Biden's plan to transform the economy by taxing the rich is already winning over Americans. Trump just got a lifeline out of his dead hole, or did he? Biden promised to crack down on Egypt's dictator. Why is the president still sending him weapons? A call to return land to tribal nations grows stronger. The Real ID gives the government new license to exclude. Remote places desperately need vaccines. Drones could help. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Commentary, Biden's changes in wording offer migrants dignity, San Antonio Express News. This May at SVA, upcoming virtual events and exhibitions, SVA features. How the Pentagon started taking UFOs seriously, The New Yorker. NASA Spaceline Current Awareness List number 947 April 30, 2021, Space Life Science Research Results, Space Ref. Past sightings that have spurred complex UFO conspiracies in North Texas, WFAA.com. In the galleries, simulated stone and neon artworks reflect the transience of life, The Washington Post. The Venice Biennale honors Raphael Monia, and other news, Surface Magazine. Silicon Sandbox, Caltech's Frederick Farina on Deep Tech, Aliens and the Secret Sauce for Startups, Fox 11 Los Angeles. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Neuromorphic electronics headed toward human brain efficiency by Jayan Inabuda, PhD Dialogue and Discourse April, 2021, Medium. Scottish independence, what's at stake in May elections, MENAFNCOM. Cancel your trip, scientists identify psychedelic drug without hallucinogenic side effects, BBC Focus Magazine. Kinetic chain patterns, an exploration of complicated shoulder conditions, Massage Magazine. The next items are the top results for news about longevity and immortality. How long can we live? The New York Times. Your Friday briefing, The New York Times. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Saturday, May 1st, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Saturday, May 1st, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.